squishier guidance has provided an opportunity to buy some of these longer-term secular ideas like Netflix or like a Shopify. And so at the end of the day, we still think earnings drive stocks. The stocks lead earnings, which lead the economy, and that's why the economy continues to be so strong. And I still think that is going to. One thing that Tom Lee said that I think is really needs to be I think over accentuated is that the private equity, private credit situation and the lack of liquidity is driving people back into the public markets. That's really key. And that's, oh, by the way, why we remain very bullish on small mid-cap companies, because small mid-cap companies are really the essence of these private equity, private credit companies. So we think there's a lot more to go in terms of this volume coming out of private equity and credit and into the public markets.
You think, Alicia, that people are inflating these two periods, thinking that they're looking at price action alone and suggesting, well, this has to be another 99 because that's the nearest analog that we have where prices for technology companies went straight up in terms of their stock prices, but the underpinnings are far different today than they were in 99, aren't they?
So I think it's sloppy to just reach for the analogy because we had 5 years in a row of double-digit earnings, of double-digit returns in the S&P, over 20% 5 years in a row. So it's starting to feel like that, but it's really not the same because the earning power is different, the cash flow is different, and the margins are different. They're just different companies. In addition, the funding is coming from the companies itself. It's less debt funded. It's coming from equity, and that's just a stronger foundation. Now, sell-offs happen. We know.
For any reason at any time.
For any reason at any time. I mean, even in double-digit years, the S&P can sell off 12%, and that's normal. So we would expect perhaps we get that further on. Timing's impossible, but making the analogy is just wrong because you miss the market and you say, well, now it's 99, it's March of 2000, I'm not going to be in it to play.
Brian, the oxygen is all obviously being sucked out of the room by tech, but what's the best story outside of that sector that you don't think people are focused on enough?
Industrials. That's an easy one because you think about the strong moves in Uber, but then you also see the essence of the economy with respect to the airlines and some of the defense contractors, the waste management companies. The waste management numbers have been amazing. We do think the Caterpillar, Deere's, Parker Hanniffin's, Illinois Toolworks, in terms of the AI actually spend in those names too. So we think actually industrials are a place that really benefit from this move into earnings. And of course, you're going to give me crap, but I think financials as well. I think this clearly needed time. And so we've forgotten that we're going to see deregulation, and we think we're going to see massive consolidation in financials, and we'll also win in this move back into the public markets.
I'd be disappointed if you didn't say that quickly, Alicia. How would you use the same question? Best area outside of technology, not focused on enough by investors, is what?
So the excitement over AI is going to the physical economy. So we've liked industrials for a while now. We still like large cap banks. That 2 years coming down, yield curve's going to seep in again. It's going to get the financial trade going again. But agree on the industrials are just getting started. Oh, the earnings power is enormous.
All right, we'll leave it there. Alicia, thanks, Brian. We'll see you soon as well. Thanks to you both. All right, now to some big stock stories we're watching today, and there are many. First up, Disney. That's certainly a big one. Brandon Gomez here with what is driving that action on the back of these earnings, Brandon.
Hey, Scott. Yeah, shares remain higher after reporting earnings for the first time under new CEO Josh